John, people need to think modestly about BlackBerry, don't they? There's no way this company is going to come out with an iPhone killer.
No, they're not going to come out with an iPhone killer, Eric. I mean, the one thing to remember about BlackBerry, and John Chen really has instilled this in the company itself, is, look, he told employees, we're a company full of assets. I mean, they have you know, the QNX operating system for cars. They have a global network of secure servers. They have, you know, BlackBerry Enterprise Management, which is this mobile management system that's just terrific. So it goes well beyond devices for them.
Well, so that raises an important question. Why come out with a new device? If the real the valuable intellectual property is in the other products you mentioned, who is it that they could appeal to with a new phone? Look, I've played around with this new phone. It's not for everybody. It's definitely going to be for some people, but I don't know how many people.
Well, you know, they don't need to capture a lot of subscribers. I mean, they have that core BlackBerry user base of, I'm going to say, around 50 million subscribers, but more than that, Eric, they admit it's not for everyone, right? I mean,
right, that's true. That's true. Look, I have to say, I kind of like it. I haven't figured out for myself yet how much I like it because I haven't had long enough to play with it. But you can see that it might appeal to somebody who's a hardcore emailer, for example, who would like to have, like Stephanie. Stephanie does a lot of BlackBerry work. And so do I, frankly, and that's one of the reasons it appeals to me, going back to the keyboard.
This could be the key for BlackBerry because there are so many people like me who carry two devices. If BlackBerry can up their ability for people to take good pictures, use apps, maybe they could turn a corner.
Yeah, I mean, this is really built to appeal to the business customer. You know, it's not going to be full of apps, but the screen is very unusual. It's perfectly square, and as everyone knows, the smartphone world has kind of converged on that rectangular shape. So you can fit more characters per line. And so when they talk about who it's ideally suited for, they talk about doctors, engineers, architects, people who are going to read documents online. And frankly, I would extend that to the whole business community, particularly those who prefer that physical keyboard over a virtual keyboard. And I'm in that camp, by the way. I hate virtual keyboards. They drive me nuts.
Me too.
So have you given any thought, John, to how many of these devices BlackBerry needs to sell for them to claim success?
I don't know, Eric, and I say that only because we tend not to look on a model-by-model basis about how they're going to do. In fact, I'm glad you asked the question because one interesting device also rumored to be coming out tomorrow is the BlackBerry Classic. So they're going to take everyone back to that original form factor. And again, I think this is going to appeal to that loyal base of, let's call it 50 million subscribers that love BlackBerry. It's going to have that chiclet keyboard, the small screen. It'll look somewhat like the BlackBerry Curve. And again, they're calling that the Classic. So, you know, I'd look at that BlackBerry Passport that we were just talking about, as well as the Classic together, could help to really buoy sales, I think, in their handset division, which has just been losing tons of share to Apple and Samsung.
Is there a risk, though, that it confuses people, John? What BlackBerry needs to do ultimately is persuade investors of the value of the intellectual property that we don't see, for the most part, in these consumer devices or enterprise devices, if you prefer, if they're really targeted at a business market. It's the QNX. It's the operating. It's the guts of the operating system. It's the other things that BlackBerry can do for companies in the guts of a company, right? Managing all the traffic from different platforms, whether it be Apple's iOS or Android, for example, or even Microsoft. BlackBerry can do that stuff, and it appears to have real prospects there, but nobody thinks about it in those terms.
Well, we're not the target audience, Eric. I mean, think about it. It really is the guys in the back room, the IT guys, that really have to get sold on BlackBerry for the business community. And then on the consumer side, I think they're going to go low end. You know, they've done very well, believe it or not, in markets like Indonesia, the Philippines, all these Southeast Asian markets in Latin America. They really have done quite well. So, you know, if I were Chen, I'd be looking at a two-pronged approach where I'm going high end with the business community, touting that security aspect and how good our security is. And then on the consumer side, I'd be pushing a lower end device to compete, frankly, below the radar of Apple and Samsung, because they just can't match them.